We're going live.
We're live.
So the fucked up thing is like I have two of these mics, but for some reason this platform, StreamYard, doesn't allow you to do an extra mic. Like I've looked it up so many different ways. I don't know why. If you go to settings, audio, you would think that there would be another one here, like add extra mic or something like that. Like if you go to camera, or if you go down here, you go to present, you can go to extra camera, and that's what I do for the extra camera. It's weird.
Interesting.
Boomer Live, episode 123. Episode 123. Later on in the show, we are going to have a special guest, CEO of UFE, Saeed Ibrahim, on to talk about his product, and we're going to be able to talk a little bit of UFC with him. It's going to be a good time. But for now, we figured we would kind of start, maybe get some things out of the way. And first thing I want to say is if you guys haven't been checking out our Twitter, which, by the way, go to our Twitter @complete_MMA, where you can find all the newest up-to-date stuff that we've been doing for the brand, for MMA. We've been putting polls out, and what I really want to talk about is our newest addition to the Twitter, which is our newsletter. So what we've been doing over the past 5 days is we've bbeen writing an article a day, and it goes right to our subscribers' emails. So we have a couple subscribers already. Shout out to all you guys. And we post content that you can't get from us on our regular Twitter. You'd have to check out our podcast for the most part. And that is betting advice. That is who we would pick for certain fights. So almost like a Patreon type effect. So that's what we're starting with our newsletter. It's the best way to get who we like in the fight. We're going to have pictures of parlays that we're putting on. And it's really your go-to for all of our betting stuff. And not only that, but just articles in general. I'm writing articles on all the fights. Yesterday I had, what the fuck did I do yesterday? Like top 10 fights still to happen in 2022. I put that up. That was a pretty good article.
That was a good one.
So, so make sure you guys go check that out. Newsletter on our Twitter @complete_MMA, where we're posting our newest stuff. And like I said, we are going to be joined by UFE CEO Saeed Ibrahim pretty shortly here in about 20 minutes. So we're going to stay live with you until then. But for right now, we're going to take a quick commercial break, go into our sponsor, Fans Only Sports, and we will be right back. All right, Austin, we are here.
We're here.
This is like our third interview ever on the show.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I feel like we interview each other, though.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
We interview the fucking knucklehead crew that comes on every couple episodes or now.
Yeah.
This is a good time any to talk about spaces. So we're going to be doing spaces I want to do one like either one Monday or Tuesday night at 10. We're going to do them Fridays, Saturdays, especially during fight nights and after fight nights, we're going to be discussing them. And then Sunday mornings is our normal time for spaces. So
yeah,
check us out then for our Sunday spaces. It's always a good time. It's a little bit more of a relaxed kind of, we just kind of shoot the shit. This is more of like, I try to put on like a show, I guess. So that one's a little more relaxed, just kind of talking freely.
Yeah, this is a podcast. This is not a show. This is not a show. This is a 1, 2, 3, dude. Done 123 times, dude. That's crazy. That's a lot of episodes.
You know what's crazy? I finally got my fucking act together and went through clips and started making clips and archiving clips and pictures because I have I'm working on 3 new commercials, like the old one that we have that's super outdated with all the fighters.
Yeah.
So I have another one that's just like that with upcoming fights. So you got like Adesanya Pereira, Poirier Chandler, Berhatska, Teixeira 2, Brandon Moreno Figueiredo 4, Makachev Volkanovski. Like I have those, but then I have 2 more commercials that's more of like clips of us and pictures of us on like right now what you see on the screen.
Yeah.
And different things about like the studio and our Twitter profiles on there. So like a different kind of commercial that we can actually run for 3 months, and it's not super fucking outdated,
Yeah.
which is going to be really nice.
Yeah.
So I got that in the work. But what I have been trying to do is work on editing clips. I found a really good clip of, I think it was the podcast last week. Yeah, because yesterday was with Mike. So it was a podcast last week about us talking about, or really you bringing up monetization in spaces. And I was saying like, oh, profiles like Thanos and Davi are going to get coin. And it was you bringing it into like this topic of those guys have already been in it and they just grinded it for like, they went from 1 a day to 2 a day to 3 a day to 4 a day. Remember when we had that conversation in the pod?
Yeah.
And
it's a long time.
Last week.
Oh.
And I had this clip all edited out. I did it with fucking sound effects. I did it with everything. Took me like 35 minutes and I really made it nice. And then I went into the fucking email to email my producer to make the commercial. And I realized that, you know how this commercial, the one with when we did My Own Music, has like the fucking video editor thing that pops up. Yeah, the clip that I made that after I edited it all out.
What do you mean?
Like it has the logo of the software I used embedded in the fucking middle of the video.
Oh, because you didn't. Oh, okay.
Because I'm using like a free trial right now. Or not even a free trial, it's just a free version of it. And if I were to get the subscription, which is like $38 a month.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Which I think I'm gonna have to do because I did it in
$38 a month.
$38 a month.
That's a lot. No,
it's a fucking lot.
Fuck that. You can make there's different platforms out there.
Well, that was the one reason I talked to you about maybe getting an iPhone in the future because iMovie is the best video editing software I've ever used.
Yeah, there's definitely better.
There is for sure.
Yeah,
but this one just came.
Just look into it.
Like I'll just show you. Like this one came right into my computer. AVS Video Editor for Windows computers.
Yeah.
2022. Like I think I can show you the clip. Is it gonna play just like this? Yeah. Like look, it was a pretty good clip. Oh, maybe this isn't it.
No, that's a pod. That's a pod.
Hold on.
Qatar.
Oh, this one. Okay. It didn't even fucking export right. Which is great. No, it should have if I go to like a download or something like that. Anyway, I'll show it to you later. But it was a lot easier than I thought it'd be. Is the point I was trying to make. Like I spent 10 to 15 minutes going through the hour and 15 podcast and looking for the clip that was good. You know.
Yeah. Well, you had it in your mind before.
No, I didn't. Oh, okay. I didn't, which is something I want to talk to you about going forward. We can look or we can just be mindful of like if we have a good segment that's 2 minutes, we can be like, what time? What is the timing on that? And we can go back and I can edit it later. But that's something that we should do because I really think editing videos, putting it up on the Twitter, and we can start doing TikTok and Vine when it comes back, doing that, putting clips on like that.
TikTok. Well, TikTok's good, but I mean,
TikTok gets you followers. That's the only thing.
Yeah, it does. Especially betting. Like if you're
right. If we made TikToks on betting, we would probably do really well on TikTok. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't like making TikToks personally.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
Neither do I.
Well, you're more sketched. You're more sketched out.
Never even downloaded it.
You're more sketched out about the ramifications behind the Chinese
Chinese
government looking into it.
Watching you, I'm telling you. It is what it is. Whatever. People want to go TikTok around. That's fine. That's not me. Vine.
I love to watch
way
TikTok.
Better, dude. Vine was way better.
Vine's the same thing.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I don't get why they took it away. That makes no sense.
Dude,
I feel
some
like
of those
like
old Vines, I can't think of it. Dude,
Logan Paul and Jake Paul were huge on Vine. That's how they all got started, dude.
That's how David Dobrik got started, was Vine.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact Vines I'm thinking of, but some of those Vines back in the day made me laugh and laugh and laugh.
I know. I can't wait until it comes back, dude.
What's in the fucking box?
Yeah.
That one. Yeah.
Jesus, take the wheel. And then the guy comes out the window, dude.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. No, I can't wait until they bring Vine back. It's going to be awesome.
That is going to be pretty cool. I'm excited to see how he does it. I wonder if they're going to call it Vine or if they're going to call it something else.
He's definitely calling it something else. Dude,
like
every business,
like Twitter Reels, it's not really real, but like Twitter clips, maybe. Clips would be a decent
Every
name for it.
business that Elon Musk has is worth over $1 billion. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, on his name alone, people are going to be able to say that his investments are worth $1 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Elon Musk. I was watching a video the other day, and you ever seen one of his videos of the rocket falling out of the sky, dude?
No.
It's just free falling out of the sky, and then it just fucking perfectly lands straight up. I've watched them a million times, but this is like the biggest one yet. Like they haven't watched it.
Is it actually like that, or are they just like playing the clip to a certain point and then they're rewinding it so it goes right back to where it started?
Oh no, it's
like it is actually falling back into place.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like something crazy.
I bet the Space Shuttle Challenger, which is that technology, was available back then. You know what the Challenger is? The Space Shuttle Challenger.
Is brand new.
No, I know, but do you know what the Challenger is?
No.
Challenger is a rocket that exploded, like on live TV in 1988. I think. Never heard of the Challenger?
No.
Yeah, I think it's the most famous space shuttle that blew up, at least for America.
Huh. Wow, I never heard that.
It was crazy too, because there was like a teacher from Middletown on the space shuttle that like she, went to college for some kind of astrophysics or something, and she went, and she didn't.
Yeah, maybe I did. Maybe I did watch this. There's like 5 people on it.
No, there was like 40.
Oh, Jesus.
Or like 25, something like that. There was definitely double digits.
Oh, damn. Wow.
Yeah, it was like in the first 10 spaceships that got launched into space, something like that.
Wow. Kanye is going off on Twitter right now. Like, I'm just stating. Like,
really?
He is going off. He has tweeted so much shit in the past hour, dude.
I don't even think I follow Kanye. Do we follow him on MMA?
I don't know. He's just going off.
I'm going to follow him right now. He has 31.7 million followers.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, he's tweeting out pictures of texts and shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Who's Harley?
I don't know.
He's tweeting a lot about a girl named Harley.
No, this is a dude.
It's a guy named Harley?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess guys can be named. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Harley Samuel Pasternak. He's a motivational speaker, television host, and spitter. In his bio on Google, it says he's a spitter. I want to have that in my bio.
Dude, he is... Oh, man. He's
known for his books on dieting.
Yeah.
Along with many celebrities as a personal trainer. So he's probably Kanye's personal trainer.
Yeah. Parisian, dude. I don't know what to think of this fight now. Well, I'm gonna go.
The more I look at it, the more I'm with Parisian. Like I said, so Josh Parisian is now plus 110 in his fight against Chase Sherman this weekend at UFC Vegas 64. And not only is he plus 110, but he's plus 160 by knockout, plus 900 by submission. And when I first told you that, you were like, oh, that sounds pretty fucking good. But Parisian doesn't have a submission on his name. The reason I like it is because Chase Sherman has gotten submitted in the first round in his previous 2 losses. Now, he did win his last fight against Jared Vanderaa, which we've talked about, like fade Vanderaa every chance you fucking get. So that's why I like Parisian by submission. I don't like a unit on it. I like maybe like $15 on it. If I get plus 900, yeah, I'll do that.
$10, yeah. Yeah, I'm down for that. Yeah, I think. Well, I'm probably not gonna do that, but I'm definitely gonna bet on him. I think. Man, I don't get why he's the underdog. I figure it's just like a 50-50 fight. Like I really think it is.
I don't know why he is either. I think
doesn't make sense.
I think it's recency bias, because if you look, Chase Sherman is 2 of 9. Yeah. He's 2-7 in his last 9 fights. His only 2 wins are against Jared Vanderaa, who literally has 75% of his body out the door of the UFC, and Ike Villanueva. Exactly. That's exactly that, right. That's exactly what I thought. I'm like, okay, so you got 2 wins against bottom dwellers, and that's the only people you fight. No disrespect to them, but you know,
it doesn't make sense, dude. I feel like this is such a.
And then you have Josh Parisian, who's also he's like 2 of 5. Like he's had 2 wins and 3 losses in the last 5 fights, which isn't 2 and 7. He's 2 and 3. But in his last win, he got a knockout over Alan Baudot, who Alan Baudot is actually a decent fighter. Like he's not top 20, but neither is Jared Vanderoff.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, I feel like Parisian is just much better competition-wise than what he's faced.
I think a big thing is people know the name Chase Sherman. Like Chase Sherman's been around for a while.
Exactly.
And they know the name Jared Vanderoff. And they don't know the name Josh Parisian or Alan Baudot.
No.
Even though I'm not ready to say that Parisian's better than Sherman, because to be honest with you, I don't know much about Sherman at all. I just know his win-loss record.
Yeah.
But I do know Josh Parisian is a good knockout artist, and Alan Baudot is a really good fighter.
Bless you. You're definitely holding that in.
Dude, thank God I'm not sick anymore. I was fucked up.
Yeah.
For a good 4 or 5 days. Like, I don't know if you could tell. You remember that space we did where you were doing the sound effects and I was getting pissy?
Yeah.
That podcast, you had said something, or space. You had said something about like get the crud out of your eyes and wake up because we got a space to do. Because my voice was like I was like talking like this. Remember that at all?
No.
No. Well, you had said that, and I'd been up for like 2 hours. Like I was just sick as a fucking dog, and I couldn't talk.
Oh damn.
I still got this sneeze anyway. That's where I was going with that. I still a little bit got a sneeze.
Well, thanks for saying that, and yeah.
Well, I wouldn't have had you over yesterday if I was still sick. I would have definitely said something. But yesterday I woke up and I felt like a fucking daisy.
Definitely those cough drops definitely helped you for sure.
Yeah, I did the coldies, like the cold E's, EEZE. Yeah.
Wow.
Good. Yeah, good for them.
Yeah, good for you.
Real good for them.
No, good for you. Yeah. So, Sky Safe is going to be joining, and probably any minute now. Gonna dive into NFTs and what did he say? He wants it's like trading cards, right?
Yeah, so
I kinda know,
I'm gonna
but
let
I'm
him
just
explain
like,
it more. But
yeah.
basically what it is he has his own version of NFTs where he's making cards of fighters, and he says you can do online or in touch. Because my first thing that I told him was that personally I'm not an NFT guy, and I told you this. It's because they're not. You can't physically grab them. You can't it's not like a real thing, but it is a real thing online. I get that. But for me, I was like, would you be able to have a trading card that you can touch? He says, yes, you can. But what's more interesting is that they have the online version that the stats of the fighters keep getting updated, which is a pretty cool thing. And you have an account with them for his UFE Fight Pass, which you can go onto his website, ufe.world, to check out, which is a pretty cool website he has. And it's easy to become a member. You just sign up with your email address. It's wicked quick. So go to ufe.world to get more information on UFE NFTs. And you're going to get more information in just a couple minutes when Safe does join. That was close. I almost did it again. But yeah, I mean, it seems to me it's not totally an NFT. It's his own company's thing, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
It basically is like
I think it's an NFT because it's just through the blockchain. Like I think that's what people don't really need to understand. But I get the concept that he's trying to do. Yeah, I'm just curious. Like what he's doing with the money if you buy it. Like when is he dropping it? Like, yeah, I'm just gonna ask him. I'm not gonna say it now, but I could say it now. I'm just gonna ask him like if you hold the card for a certain amount of time, does the card increase? Or does it just stay the same?
I would think that it would probably increase with
I know
the fighter getting better.
Yeah, I know the stats change, but the NFT itself,
if he
for you holding the NFT and not selling it.
And I'm pretty sure for him this is also this is definitely a new thing for him. He doesn't have a lot of contracts with fighters. He's working on several with fighters right now. But if he were to get Bo Nickel as a fucking card,
no, exactly.
Hammer that shit right now because he's only going to get better in the UFC in a couple years' time.
Yeah. All right. Do you need to buy like cards and stuff?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
interested.
when we come back, we're going to take a quick commercial break for our sponsors, Fans Only Sports. When we do come back, we do have the CEO of UFE, Saif Ibrahim, to join in, and he's going to tell us a lot more about UFE, NFTs, and UFE media when we get back.
I'm pumped.
All right, and we are back, and we are being joined by a very special guest for one of the first interviews that we have had here on the podcast in a while. Say hello, Saif.
Hello, guys. Can you guys hear me well?
Yep,
Yeah,
you're all good,
dude,
man.
Great, dude. Nice to meet you.
Awesome. Yes, nice
So-
to meet you guys.
So Saif is the CEO of UFE World and UFE NFT, which you can find on Twitter, which is in the scrolls right here at UFE NFT. And you can also go check out his website, which I shouted out earlier. Really easy way to join his subscription. By the way, your website is pretty cool. I checked it out, and the logo that you have going along with your title is actually really cool. It was like one of those sphere movements.
It's a
described.
revolving logo. We actually, so like right now our website, that's just our landing page right now. We're actually our software developers building it out right now. And guys, when you guys see the website, it'll be ready by December. It's going to be an experience of its own. We really tried to make sure that like anyone who checks out the website, you know, you're like, damn, this is a sick website, cool project, cool company here. So I'm excited for that to be released the end of the month.
That's awesome, man. You'll have to let us know when that does drop. We can definitely go check it out. I thought it was pretty cool that you were explaining it to me, and I prefaced this. We've been kind of talking for about 20 minutes already. We've been talking about, you know, the fight card coming up, but we've also been talking about you and your product. And what I was kind of talking about in my very limited square knowledge of Web3 and NFTs and all this stuff. Did I use Web3 right?
Yeah.
Okay,
You're
cool.
using it
Got
right.
that.
You're using it right.
Making progress. So Austin, by the way, is much more in tune with everything we're going to be discussing. So this for
The
me,
NFT guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been in it for a couple years, dude. Couple years.
Yeah.
this is definitely going to be a learning experience for me. Something I'm really interested in. But it sounded, and I might be wrong, but what your company's kind of producing is a little bit different than your average NFT. It's more of something similar to like a trading card.
Yeah,
Is that right?
It's got like a utility behind it, which is like kind of what like is missing in the NFT community. That's what I think is interesting about it. That's the future of NFTs. Like people say like copy paste, you know, and then you own it. Well, you can't copy paste something and you're not going to get anything from it. That's what he's going to bring to the table. If I'm
100%.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
100%. So like one thing you touched on was trading cards. And so I do want to clarify. So us as a company, UFE, right, we're going to have two kinds of collections. Our first one is the fan pass, which is what's going to host the trading cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then our separate collections are the fighter collections. And I don't even technically want to say they're our collections. Yes, we're the ones that release them, but we partner with the fighter to help them onboard for their own NFT collections. And within those collections, there's going to be real life experiences. And just by buying from the collection, you actually get direct access. You'll be entered into a private Discord where you can chat with the fighter. You'll have direct access to the fighter that you want to support. So that's all one thing, right? And our first one's going to be launching with Nico Price shortly. So around his next fight. So not this one, but the one after. And that one's going to be releasing later next year. But we, as a company, we also have our own collection, and that's called the UFE Fan Pass. And I'm so excited for the Fan Pass to be coming out. They drop January 6th. And they are seriously like, if you're an MMA fan and you don't know anything about NFTs, right? Like you're gonna want this fan pass. This
Sounds
fan
perfect for me.
pass.
Yeah,
I'm sorry?
exactly.
I said sounds perfect for me.
Yeah. Like honestly, we implemented a way so like really like you don't have to have an understanding of crypto to or NFTs to really get involved. What the fan pass is, so it's a almost kind of like a membership, I would say, like in a way. But with your fan pass, you get lifetime gym membership to any gym that we are partnered with. One, two, you get trading card packs, and these trading card packs, think of it like if you got a pack from Ultimate Team of FIFA or something, you know, like it's going to be a pack of trading cards. But the difference is these trading cards are NFTs, and these trading cards are the first of their kind. They actually follow fighter performance. So it's a way for fans to really like be rewarded along with a fighter's career. So, for example, if we have a trading card, we have a series of trading cards called Breakout Fighters. These breakout fighters are up and coming MMA fighters who are on the scene and have a very good chance of doing something good in the future within the sport of MMA. We create trading cards for them, and these trading cards, they upgrade when fighters perform well in real life. So like let's say you have a certain trading card and this fighter goes on a 3-fight win streak, is in the UFC now, like you may be you could be eligible now to receive his authentic trading card just because you are holding on to his original trading card. That's just one piece of utility. We can make it so that you get an signed pair of MMA gloves because we can check through blockchain that you've held the card since the physical beginning of the card's existence. Or if you go on to secondary markets and we see that you've never sold the card, like there's so many possibilities when it comes to actually holding the trading cards and what we can see and what we can offer fans for that.
Yeah, that was like one of the things I was going to get into. Like if you hold it for a certain amount of time, you get rewarded for it. Kind of like staking it kind of, but not staking it.
Yeah, 100%. And one thing I like to think of, like when I think about the trading cards, so like I tell this story when I I like to tell this story like when my favorite fighter, right? Like I sound like such a casual and like just a like a like a casual of the sport, but it's Conor McGregor. My first fight I ever watched was Conor McGregor versus Dennis Siver. So like I'm not just a fanboy or like a bandwagon of Conor McGregor. Like that was genuinely the first fight I watched, and like let's say I was like, damn, I love this dude. I want to be a fan of his, right? I could have, if these trading cards were around, theoretically, I could have gone online, bought this trading card, and could be and I could prove to everybody that I was a fan of this fighter since the beginning. It's like a way for fans to truly get like one, to get acknowledgement for being a fan, two, to get rewarded for being a fan, and three, for like to support your fighter directly. Because at the end of the day, we're partnering with these fighters and they get the majority of the proceeds regardless. So it's truly a way that we really wanted to implement a way to like really get rewarded as a fan. I used it as like everything that like I wanted as a fan, because at the end of the day, I'm a huge fan of the sport, so I really wanted to tend to the fans.
Mm-hmm. And we do know that you already have some partnerships that you've been working on with some certain UFC fighters. Some of the names you already talked about, Nico Price, who has a fight coming up December 3rd against Philip Rowe. Mm-hmm. By the way, if you're not super into it, for anybody watching, that is the fight night of the year. December 3rd is the fight night of the year. Tuvasa Pavlovich, Thompson Holland, Nico Price, Philip Rowe. There's like, it's a pay-per-view.
Dude, Tracy Cortez versus Amanda
Ribas. Yep.
Fucking,
I have the database here. I can look up.
Brian Barberena versus Rafael Dos Anjos.
Barberena Dos Anjos. Matheus Nicolau versus Matt Schnell. Derek Brunson, Jack Hermanson.
Oh my God.
Eric Anders, Kyle Dawkins.
Jesus.
Yeah, Clay Guida, Scott Holtzman. Like it's
a stack card.
But anyway, what I was saying was we were talking about Nico Price and his fight, and I know you said that it's gonna start counting towards Nico Price's fight for next year. But just a shout out to Nico. But if you want to go ahead and talk about some of the fighters that maybe you are already considering trying to get contracts with, some other fighters that you've just talked to in general about this idea, or some fighters that you might think would probably be the best for this certain type of situation, in my mind, that would be fighters like on the come up. You know what I mean? Like fighters that don't have a huge name now, so you can kind of get on ground level and then could explode into something. So do you have anybody like that in mind, or just any fighters that you've kind of been talking to about this idea?
Yeah. So right away, our first fighter that we're doing the fighter collections for is Nico Price. So that one's obviously been announced. Our first breakout fighter is Jordan Newman. He's 4-0 in Bellator, two-time NCAA wrestling champion. And then we are in talks with a couple other fighters. We are like in the process of negotiating contracts and kind of stuff like that. So I can't get into too much detail, but like we're talking to fighters like Kevin Holland. We're really in touch with a management company right now called KO Reps. So if you know them, they're sponsoring athletes like Aljamain Sterling, Venezuelan Vixen, what's her name? Juliana Pena. So like we are in talks with some big name fighters. I can't go into too much detail on the progress, but yeah, so big things that come from UFE regarding fighters. And you were kind of saying like what you think, right? Recommended like fighters from the ground up. I think that those kind of fighters, I would classify them as breakout fighters, and we definitely want them, right? Like we want a way for fans to support these kind of athletes. And get rewarded for that, because I know as a fan, I think it would be so dope. Like my neighborhood dude who's fighting an LFA and just won the championship or some shit. You know what I mean? Like that's super cool to be a part of. But I look at this like the best fighters who are really going to make a splash with UFE are the ones already kind of that the fans want to interact with, right? So like a guy like Kevin Holland, right? That dude has 600K followers on Twitter. He has a huge following. His engagement's crazy. His fans love him. Like they love him, right? So like a guy like Kevin Holland, you're telling me somebody doesn't want to go on a one-on-one experience with him, get to chat with a guy like that. Like those are the kind of athletes we want at UFE. We want ones that like want to make a connection with their fans. One thing I've noticed as I've been talking to some fighters are, you know, some just don't want to deal with fans in that way, you know, and that's okay. Like that's not nothing on them. Like, you know, they're very personal in their life and they don't want to open it up to fans. But we want the people who want to interact with fans. We want the people who want to be accessible for fans. I mean, think about it like this, like a fighter only has a certain amount of time they can really market themselves. And we want that exposure and that openness for fans to be able to retain. So for us, it's like, we know as fans who we want to talk to. It's kind of now on fans to kind of bring that to their awareness, these fighters, because this is a solid avenue for these people to interact with fans. Like at the end of the day, I don't like to classify us as a NFT company or Web3 company. We are, but I don't like to say that, because at the end of the day, we're actually a fan experience company. Like I've seen this a lot with other NFT companies is, you know, they really hone in on, you know, what an NFT and all the blockchain. But like at the end of the day, the reason we all like NFTs is because of the actual technology behind it and what it can grant. Because of blockchain, we can verify certain things. We can prove that you're the owner. Like there's so much utility that comes out of NFTs that we need to bring into a Web2 society.
No, you hit the nail right on the head right there, dude. That's basically what it's all about. It's proof of ownership, proof of proof that you own it, and you get a utility from doing that. I think it's genius, and I think you're hopping in at the perfect time. The perfect time, you know. It's not like it's yeah. I'm excited. You know, I'm all about it. I really am all about it. Now, I do remember you saying something about like, are you dropping like cards, or is there like packs that you buy, and you get like different types of cards, or is it just straight up like one card, like you'll get like a Kevin Holland card, or like a Nico Price card, or like you buy that specific card, or like a pack, like Top Shot is like what I'm trying to say. Kind of.
Yeah, Top Shot is like cool and everything, but like I really want to make our own really cool experience. Like we really are reinventing the wheel when it comes to like even trading cards. Like when we're like, I'm not coming into this, I wasn't really big into trading cards. I never like really had them. So like I wanted to give it the due diligence it needed, like for something of this magnitude, because I really think something like this could really shake up the whole space. We went and really like talked to a lot of experts on like how to actually implement a trading card set. So we've done the science research on like how to structure a trading card set. So when you get your pack, when the fan pass holder gets their pack, it'll almost be like I'm gonna compare it to Ultimate Team for FIFA because that's like the easiest example in my head.
Yeah.
You get the pack, you get to open it, you get to see the opening of the pack, and there'll be 4 to 5 cards in the pack, and they may be a certain rarity, they may be a certain like type of card, a signature card, whatever it may be. But there'll be different variations of cards. There'll be fighter cards. There'll be event cards. There'll be like, think about Pokemon cards. You know how there's not just Pokemon cards. There's like, what's the word? There's like style cards. There's like fire cards, whatever they are. There'll be kind of variations like that as well. So like, we'll really make it a cool system of trading cards.
Yeah, like tiers of cards.
100%.
And do you think similar to how FIFA did it? I think what you're kind of getting into, I don't know if we have a lot of FIFA viewers and followers. I know you're not too into FIFA, but like
no, it's the same as Ultimate Team. Like
right,
Ultimate
there's some
Team,
things like
football,
Inform,
Madden.
and there's some things like Champions League version. So do you think with your system you're going to be able to have multiple cards coming out of the same fighter, and maybe different cards will have different kind of utilities for it? Just like an Inform, rather a basic card.
100%. So honestly, it's really dependent on what we want to deem the utility for a certain NFT. Because for us, it's like super easy. We can put so much value behind every single card. Every card is gonna have some type of like, it may be a non-common card, but you got to think about it like you have a non-common of a. Like Prism, they only release a certain amount of cards, right? For a certain deck. Like that's going to be the same thing. Like once you get a card, you're more than likely not going to see that card in circulation again. So we really tried to make it so that there's a scarcity as well tied to all of this as well.
Well, awesome. Yeah, of course. That makes in my perspective, I shouldn't say of course, because again, I am very limited.
No, but I feel like you're,
right. Yeah. So obviously the more rarer a card is, which in this case would be something like I don't mean to keep doing this, but it seems like I'm kind of on the page that you are, but like comparing it to FIFA, like a basic version of a card, like a basic Nico Price, you might see like 2 or 3 of those rather than an Inform one, which is maybe a card that you drop right after he gets a knockout win. Or right after he does, something really cool. Maybe he has like a huge promotion on Twitter, and you drop like a promotional card. I don't know.
Yeah, but there's gonna be like, we're really working with like a team dedicated just for these trading cards. Like, there's gonna be like, I'm not the best guy to explain the like what's to come for the trading cards, but like, if you look at like a trading card game or anything like that, like, imagine we're gonna follow the script to that, but use our own NFT twist to it.
Yeah. Do you know what blockchain you're using? Like Polygon or Solana or Ethereum or
Ethereum? We're sticking with Ethereum just because it's
Ethereum.
It's really the most interoperable for us right now, and what we want to accomplish. And in terms of on-chain data for us as well, it's a lot easier for us to track. So that's why we're going with Ethereum. I thought about Solana. I'm just not a fan of. Like I do like Solana. I just didn't think it would be most beneficial for like, because predominantly who we want to attend to is the Web 2 crowd. Like it's great to have the NFT enthusiasts, but I really wanted this for fans of MMA, and most of those people are Web 2. So Ethereum's just the easiest transfer for a lot of them.
No, exactly. That's why I asked.
Your target audience should always be the biggest audience that you can see. So when you have like Web3 people who know about it and are probably more likely to follow something like this, but you look at the ratio of people in the world, and you got Web 2 people. I'm probably butchering this, but like Web 2 people to Web 3 people is probably like a ratio of 20 to 1. I would imagine 100%. When you include all of like the 50 and 60-year-olds or older that don't even know the internet, like I would just think,
and it's super easy. Like all this will be able to be bought with fiat too. Like it's not just secluded to crypto. Like you can buy it with your credit card as well. Like we'll make it so it's super easy for everybody to purchase.
And when you have these cards, we had talked briefly on the phone before we had done this interview a couple days ago, and you had said that you were working on possibly having a physical version and an online version. Is that right?
Yes. So obviously it's not going to be like right away. We're going to have physical cards just for people to go get, but we're going to, once we like release the cards and release the fan passes, what we want to do is have a system where a fan can go and redeem for a physical card. Maybe it's like certain cards we give out for free that are physical versions, or you can buy your whole set of cards and get physical versions of them. Like, we're going to make it so there's a lot of options, and there will be physical cards for them. It's just not going to be the primary version that we have, just because at the end of the day, in my opinion, the NFT version is much more like, we can track it a lot better. Like, there's a lot more benefits to having the NFT version of it. But I think one thing I really forgot to mention about the fan pass is that I think like that most fans of like Web2 and most like MMA fans just quite don't understand that the reason like what NFTs really pump, like, it's crazy to me how like a lot of these projects that are in the NFT space like blow up. You make money off of them because at the end of the day, like, there's really like no value to them, right? Like, it's just pictures usually most of the time. But at the end of the day, it's the community, the people that pump the price, right? And it's like they want a monetary value from this NFT, but we're not just giving a monetary value to an NFT. We're giving you utility. But if you, the fan pass holder, don't want to be a part of this, right, you still can go and sell your fan pass and make money. Like, MMA fans don't quite grasp that concept of like making money for it. Like, this is the first time a fan can make money for being a fan. There's nothing ever that's been like this. Like, fans, you get to spend all your money to go watch fights, attend fights, but now this is a way for you to like signify you're a fan. And if you don't want to do it anymore, you just made a shit ton of money because you owned a fan pass and held it through a bear market, and we're in a bull market. Ethereum's worth $5,000-$6,000 per Ethereum, and now you go sell your fan pass and you can make 10 times your initial entry. Like,
what's going to 10,000? What's going to 10,000?
I mean, in my opinion, it probably will.
Well, it has to double. Yeah, no, it will. That'll take time. It's gonna take time.
So, like, say I were to have a fan pass and I hold that for, well, let's say 2 years, through a down market, and it's at a point now where I think that my profits, I would sell it right now. I'd be happy with the money that I gained from selling it.
Yeah.
For the person that buys it, do they have? All right, so say the fan pass is under my name, Zach Drapo. I have it for 2 years. I have it for such amount of time. Does the person who buys that from me get my like accolades or utilities that I've built up on that fan pass for so long?
No. I mean, maybe, obviously we don't have it like fully nailed out yet on like that part of it. But in my mind, I like, once you sell
like,
it
would almost like stats would renew kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of thing. But like, you still have all the trading cards that you've accumulated while you've had your fan pass. Like, that's the thing. Right. You hold the fan pass, you get the trading cards for free. So it's like, that's also another avenue of revenue. Like, let's say you pull a 1-of-1 trading card. Who's to say you can't go to the markets, keep your fan pass, and go sell the trading card for however much you want to sell it for? Like, this is like the first way for a fan to truly make money for being a fan. Like,
I think this is the first time I've ever been actually interested in NFTs.
Yeah, this is what I mean.
I'm just gonna say, like,
I've been trying to explain it to this dude for so long, and it's just like I couldn't get it into him. But this is like, you explain it to the T, like, on God.
Listen, the best way for me, I think for a lot of people that are like me, the best way for me to get into stuff like Web3, would you classify cryptocurrency as Web3?
That is Web3. So like, I think when people,
because I'm not really too into crypto either.
So when people own an NFT, that's when they're gonna get into crypto.
That's what I mean.
That's what's
so like
happen.
I think for me,
that's the next adoption.
A big demographic in the MMA fan community is that if you were to explain to me something like an NFT when I have no prior knowledge of it at all, I'm going to say to myself, like, this isn't a real thing. This doesn't make sense. I've gotten bits and pieces of the utilities that he described. You said to me, like, this person is dropping an NFT of maybe he's only dropping like 2,000, and those 2,000 people are going to get the chance to interact with him later on in the future. That resonated with me. I think that when he said it, it kind of resonated with me a little bit more, that being a utility, like that makes sense. That's kind of cool. If this person gets bigger, the NFT for it will drive up. If he gets smaller, it'll drive down.
Yeah.
The price of the market also has something to do with it. Like, I get that. But for me, if you put sports in anything like that, and not only just the bragging rights of saying, like, I've had this fan pass for 2 years, I've been on this shit, like this is my thing, and people, like, you can see that I'm this guy, but being able to, like, have an ultimate team type of thing where you're like, there's a certain bit of randomness that comes to it, and you have to get lucky, but you also have to be there to get lucky
at the right time. Yeah, you have to own it.
Theoretically, let's say you're not lucky, like, and that person who did get lucky wants to go sell their card, like, you can go and buy their card, like, that most likely will be available if somebody's selling the card, which in my mind, like, let's say we do a pack of 4 or 5, right? Like, immediately that's like 25,000 NFTs that are now in the market. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm sure someone's going to sell their
NFTs,
of course. You know what I mean?
Like, it's supply and demand. You get someone who has $10 to their name, they somehow get a fucking 1 of 1.
Yeah,
they're going to sell that for X dollars, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have a guy that's been on this for 10 years and he has 5 1 of 1s, he's just going to pocket it.
Like, imagine if you had a card from somebody and you held it for 10 years, and they were good their whole career. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the beauty. It's the trading card system.
Question for you, Safe. Do you think that Jake Paul will have a trading card with you guys someday?
Honestly, I'll segue this into like multi-sports for UFE, because we've thought about going multi-sports right away and like having some boxers that we know of that want to join UFE. But I think, and this is like how I see successful companies do things, right? They really hone in on one sector and like blow that sector up. Yep. So in my mind, we need to like really nail down MMA. And then like once we really have something big here, then possibly go out. But I would love to have Jake Paul on UFE. Like, if I'm being real, like I'm a fan of the guy. I'm not gonna.
Right. He has a huge social media following. People would want to have utilities.
Oh yeah, you definitely get that all day.
100%. And like, I think another thing that makes UFE stand out differently than like, let's say the other NFT companies in MMA, like Marshall, Rogan, Inu, and like Block Asset, like, when we partner with a fighter, it's not like we sponsor a fighter. Like, most cases, these companies give them a shit ton of money up front to say that, like, you're part of our company, right? And then they'll make money off of that athlete. I do it completely different. Like, I have personal friends who are big MMA stars. I've been a fighter. Like, I know I've been through I know what the grind is. Like, I genuinely made this platform for fans and fighters. So when we partner with fighters, we're partnering with them as like they are our partner, and we're trying to build this NFT platform for them. So anytime their collections are coming out, it genuinely is their collection. Like, you can almost think of it as like UFE is just the hand holding them to be able to get to that spot where they can release a collection. Like, that's literally what we do for fighters. We take a percentage, obviously, but it's not like it's not nearly as much as any other company. Like, most of the proceeds are going to the fighter. Like, I made this as an avenue for fighters. So it really sets us apart differently than most other companies right now.
Well, if you have that tagline, it shouldn't be that hard to get Jake Paul on it. That's what he's been preaching about, right? Get UFC fighters to have better pay.
Yeah, 100%.
I was just
point.
No, I know half making a joke, but half being serious. Like, that is his motto too. So
yeah.
I think that's a part of the organization and part of the mixed martial arts community that is maybe the most overlooked. The part of like, these guys need their own revenue streams, and we kind of hit the nail on the head earlier when we were talking about, would you rather have a fighter that's 10-0, or would you rather have a guy who's 7-3 but has a huge social media following? For this type of stuff, it seems to me like you would want to have the guy with a huge social media following, because that's going to it's going to resonate.
I want the guy who's going to want to interact with their fans. Like, I want the guy who wants to be like, I don't care if you're 5-5, but you have a huge fan base who wants to interact with you, and there's no other way. I just want this to be a platform for you.
Can I shout out a good example of that? I think Ben Rothwell. Statistically, a guy who's been in the UFC for a long time, has a really big fan base, doesn't have the greatest fight record, but is all the time on Twitter. Shout out Ben, follows us on Twitter, but who's he has this big social media engagement, not the best fighter in the world, and he's older, so normally with these 42-year-olds, you don't see them on Twitter all the time.
Yeah, that's a good Are you going to involve people that have already retired or just active fighters?
So I thought about that. I've really dug into that as well. Like, obviously, we want to do fight all fighters, right? Who want to interact with their crowd of fans. But the thing is, like, their trading cards then don't actually get as much utility and ways of upgrading during their performance, which is cool. I guess we would just have to do a different type of addition for the card,
Yeah, Hezbollah. Hezbollah has an NFT, but he doesn't fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know if
I was thinking about that for commentators as well. Could John Anik, Joe Rogan?
100%. Actually, it's a good point. When UFE is in the situation to put capital, upfront capital into these people, that's 100% something where we want to do is evolve this kind of trading card set so that everyone has something cool about it,
Yeah, imagine seeing UFE in the cage or something.
That's what I mean.
Sponsored. That would be pretty sick.
So I'm sure you're a very busy man. I know you got a lot of stuff to do. I said that we'd probably keep you till 7:30 and then see how it goes from there. We love having you. You've been a great guest.
I mean, I got some time, guys. I got about 10-15 minutes. So
all right, sweet. No, you got any more questions? I personally have a couple questions about asking him about.
Go ahead.
Well, more about the UFC, what's going to happen in the next couple weeks. Questions that I'm kind of going, but I also want to mull over some other questions about.
Well, I have a question for you guys. UFC, UFC. Do you guys know what UFC Strike is?
No.
Okay, so it's UFC's form of NFTs. They do video NFTs of moments. They sold pretty well. Guess how much the athlete gets out of a UFC Strike NFT?
So this is an NFT that encompasses maybe a 5-10 second clip of their fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're saying percentage wise, what do they get?
Yeah, from sales of the NFT.
Probably.
I would guess very little because all UFC video rights belong to the UFC. They don't belong to fighters at all. And I don't think that gets incorporated in there. I would say it's very small, 2% is my guess.
It's 3 to 5% or something.
Yeah, that's nothing.
The UFC is they have such, and shout out Dana White and the Fertitta brothers back in the day who started Zuffa, all them, and they're putting people on a platform to get noticed, right? Even Nate Diaz, who's had so many problems in his last fight, was shout out them for giving me a platform. But they're very business conscientious in the fact that this is what we're going to give you. This is the contract we're going to offer you. You can make so much money off this. Now, we're doing this because we're giving you the platform and giving you a microphone to say whatever you want.
Yeah.
So you now have the chance to go out there and do what you got to do on social media. So the Sean O'Malley's and the Conor McGregors that go out and do this other stuff, they have platforms that in turn, after they get bigger, now you're going to get more money from the UFC in time. And because of that. So it's almost like a catch-22. Yeah. But if you're one of these guys that
I think Sean O'Malley has NFTs from that.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
I think he does.
But if you're one of these guys that
have NFTs, but they don't do shit.
Exactly. They don't do any. Exactly.
But if you're one of these guys that all you do is train and you don't go on social media, but you're dedicated to your craft, Yuri Prohaska is a pretty good fucking example. You don't see him on Twitter at all. This guy's champion of the world. He's one of the best strikers we ever seen in the UFC. Now, for a champion, right? When I think of champions, Charles Oliveira, Kamaru Usman, Ngannou, everybody. I'm thinking 500K, 800K, $1 million plus for the big champions.
Yeah.
Whereas Yuri Prohaska is fighting at UFC 282. I'm going to go ahead and guess that his contract money is $250,000, $300,000 because he's not really that promotable.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
so that's where I can see UFC Strike. Because honestly, I would guess that they don't even have to give any of that percentage to the fighters based on their contracts. They just might do it to be PR friendly, I would assume.
Yeah. That's kind of, I guess.
It's true. No, it's true. It's literally like just they don't have to do shit. Like when like for our collections, right? Like these one of ones with experiences, we want them to depict certain moments in the fighter's career and then like kind of add art to it, right? But those photos, like let's say one photo, like for Nico, the up kick, for us to buy the photo and have NFT rights to the photo, it's like stupid money.
Right.
Like the fighter, it's like it literally like the fighters literally have to buy their rights back from these photos. So it's like it's really dumbfounded to me how they do that.
Yeah.
The UFC's
That's the beauty of
so
Web
smart.
3. That's why we
They're-
have Web 3 though, so they're not
Yeah.
going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Who do you got in 2 weeks? Adesanya or Pereira?
Dude, that's gonna be a good ass fight.
I think it is going to be a good ass fight.
It's
I
gonna be
think
a
that's
great
what's been
fight.
lost.
It's gonna
on
be a
people.
great
It's going to be a
fight,
good fight.
Yes, I genuinely, like a part of me says like I could see this going one of two ways. First way is like this is a complete like good fight, like they're fighting just striking back and forth,
Yeah.
and like it's a back and forth no, one of three ways. Good striking battle, like it's like good as fuck, and Pereira knocks him the fuck out, like
Yeah.
just knocks him the fuck out. Two, Adesanya is like gets hit and is like fuck this, and like he wrestles a little bit and like he wins by decision because he's like winning it like the easiest way he should, you know. That's one way, and then the third way, like they just play touch butt, you know what I mean? Like don't actually do shit the whole fight.
I've been leaning more towards that. I personally think that Alex Pereira is going to be looking for the fucking knockout in the first 2 rounds. I think that Izzy's going to stay 5 feet away from him for the first 4 rounds. I don't think he's going to get anywhere close to Pereira. I think he's going to throw leg kicks and run the fuck away from Pereira until Pereira's a little gassed, and then go after him.
That's also the other thing. How long are kickboxing fights? Aren't they like the same duration as MMA?
It's closer to boxing rules. So it's like I want to say in Adesanya Pereira's case, it was like 8 3-minute rounds, which is a lot like boxing.
He got knocked out a long time ago. Yeah.
And I also looked back to that. So Pereira does own a decision victory over Adesanya in kickboxing as well.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed, or have you ever looked into that fight?
Yeah, I have.
Very scrutinized. Like Adesanya had more strikes landed, and it seems like he won more rounds. But Pereira won more rounds dominantly. Like he had like 3-round wins, but all 3 were dominant round wins.
Okay.
So he has the win. I'm not taking anything away, but it's like it was a really close fight, and a fight that some people give to Adesanya. I just saw that the other day. I thought that was interesting.
The UFC is definitely having trouble with that right now too.
Yeah.
So, I think.
I wonder what they're gonna do for the promotion of that fight. Like, how are they gonna are they gonna get the clips of those fights? Like I don't know. You know, like.
Well, I don't even know.
Probably not.
Do you even know? I can't even think of the organization of the kickboxing that they actually were in. It was like Fury Strikes, maybe. I can't think of it, but I'll tell you what. If I am that organization that had the Pereira Adesanya fights, I'm not selling those clips to the UFC for cheap. Those clips that are going to be plastered on every promo, they're going to be pretty expensive, and the UFC doesn't like to buy expensive shit.
Yeah, dude. A lot of people have seen that video of him getting knocked out. A lot of people.
And Pereira's kid goating him and like falling down right in front of Adesanya.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good fight. This is maybe the most split we've ever been on a fight.
Yeah, I don't know who, dude. It's such a toss up. I'm not even gonna bet on it
because it's like that's 2 strikers. Like I've never seen that. Like 2 strikers are gonna go at it. So,
but you got 2 completely different strikers. You got a point striker and a technique striker. I mean, they're both technique. They're both world-class kickboxers. But you got a point striker in Adesanya and a defensive striker at that. And you got Pereira, who is offensively a power striker.
Yeah.
So it's like,
is he gonna get gassed though? Is he gonna get gassed?
If he doesn't knock out Adesanya in 2 rounds, absolutely give it to Adesanya. Which is why we live bet on this fight. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. Adesanya I don't say Pereira's not even been 5 rounds in the UFC.
He hasn't even
been. UFC 281 stream will be in the UFE Discord, by the way, for all you viewers.
Sweet.
Nice.
We'll definitely shout that out on Twitter.
I'll be tuning in.
Oh shit! I was just gonna say something. Oh, are you a sports bettor, Safe?
A little bit of a sports bettor, yes. Yeah.
So
I don't like MMA betting to be honest. Like I'll bet football, basketball, but like when it comes to MMA, I suck at betting because I like bet who I like more, and it usually never works out for my favor. So
I got to tell you, if you think like us, and I think a lot of MMA fans do, we get super hot around this time of year. Like we were flawless in the fight night last week with Allen and Qatar. We won. We profited very much so in UFC 280. Last year was the same thing. UFC 276, 7 and 8. 266, 7, 267 and 268. We killed. So I'm just saying, if there is a time to sports bet, it's now. These next two cards, these next two cards are full of fights that we know both people, and that's the biggest thing. Like, if it's a newcomer versus an older guy that you don't see that much, you can kind of dissect it as much as you want, but you don't really know the guys. But all of the fights, big fights that are coming up, is of fighters that have been active, that we know, that are huge. Like, this is the time to sports bet.
Yeah.
Patty versus Gordon, who you guys got?
Oh, Patty.
Oh, Patty's
going to be a huge favorite. I like Jared Gordon too. I do like Gordon. I think that
Jared Gordon can knock him out.
I think that Patty's jiu-jitsu is actually world class, and not people don't give him credit for it.
No, we haven't really seen him on the ground too much. Like we did his last fight, but I mean,
I think he wins too. But Jordan Gordon's no fucking slouch.
100%.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't wait. I can't wait for next year, man. We were talking about this a little bit on the last podcast, but the Wembley card next year, which I think
next year is like going to be so big. I think Hamza maybe fighting for a title. Conor McGregor back.
Hamza's not fighting for a title. Colby's beating him.
You think
Colby is beating?
You know what? I think Bilal fights Hamza over Colby. I don't think Colby's going to fight Hamza. Like in all honesty.
Colby, listen, that's the thing. Colby's got a business decision to make, right? Because Colby has this aura about him. Usman's the only one that's beaten him in the last 10 years or whatever. But if he gets out wrestled by Chimaev, the fuck does Colby have now? So I like that Bilal Muhammad
wrestler though.
And I think Bilal Muhammad is a really good matchup for Chimaev. Because I think Chimaev,
the best takedown defense in the UFC.
I still think Chimaev gets takedowns though.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying
I think he does, but honestly, dude, if you listen to him and like his build up to like his camp with Khabib, bro, I genuinely think Khabib is like the guy to take a guy like Bilal to the next level. Like,
do you think Bilal could be a future champion?
Dude, I don't bet against Usman usually. It's something like Leon head kicking him would have to happen, for a guy like Usman to lose usually. But like, he could be a champion. I think he's championship material.
I think that if he wasn't in the division with the second pound for pound in the world, he would be.
Welterweight's stacked, bro. It's literally like top to bottom.
You look at so many divisions got so much better this year. Oh, welterweight is stacked, and I would put it at like number 5 divisions. You got bantamweight, which is ridiculously loaded.
Bantamweight's ridiculous.
You got featherweight, which is like the top 5 isn't that crazy, but you look at number 5 and number 20, and it's packed, like ridiculously packed. Here's a shout people aren't talking about. Women's strawweight is actually a really great division in the UFC right now. And it started with the Rose kind of taking over, but that whole division, the top 15, really good.
Yeah.
And middleweight has fights, it seems like every other week. So you got like 5 or 6 divisions that are going crazy.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Honestly, my favorites right now are bantamweight and welterweight right now. Lightweight.
Lightweight? Yeah, lightweight ridiculous too.
Yeah, to be honest, I think the whole Khabib thing is going to happen again with Islam. So, like, I'm kind of like, all right, now we got our champion for a little bit now, to be honest.
Makhachev or Volkanovski?
Dude, I just don't see Volkanovski beating Islam.
No, he's not beating him.
I want him to. Like, to be honest, like, as a Conor fan, I
so badly want him to.
Like, I hate Khabib. I hate Islam. I don't even hate Khabib.
You respect
him. I hate him because of like Conor, but if I wasn't a Conor fan, I'd be a huge Khabib fan. But
you respect the game, you don't love him though. Like it's fine to say that.
No, yeah.
I wish I wasn't a Conor fan because I'd love Khabib. Like he's everything that I like about MMA, but like,
yeah, right.
That little rat,
Yeah, that's awesome. Before you go, are you gonna do like coaches, like cards for coaches. Like Khabib's a coach,
Yeah.
could be like.
No, for sure. That's also something we can add. I'm honestly like, so I said this on another podcast. Like, all these are great ideas, right? Like, these are like, we started this company as like fans and fighters. Like, we want to expand our team like as we go on and on. Like, so
Yeah.
like these kind of things, like I love it when fans give these kind of suggestions because at the end of the day, we're trying to tailor it to you guys. Like,
Yeah.
we want to incorporate everything you guys think would be cool. Like. This is a fans platform as well.
As much as you're marketing right now, you're also outsourcing and just kind of getting new ideas and getting fresh new stuff.
Yeah. Genius.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm not going to hold you because I know you got a busy night. For all of our viewers out there, make sure you go check out Safe and his company UFE and UFE Media, UFE NFTs and UFE World Media, or is it UFE Media? I think it's
UFE Media. So we run also like a media site, just where we post MMA news.
Yep. So Twitter is on the scroller down below. Also, the website UFE.world, where you can get started signing up for your UFE fan pass.
Yeah, and there's a drop. Then the drops January 6th.
Yes.
Yeah, I got that in my head. Got that duly noted.
And make sure you go give him a follow on Twitter, where he is most active. We've been interacting with him a while. We both interacted with Terrence McKinney today, which was kind of cool. So yeah, shout out Safe. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Yes, of course. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
Make sure to join the space in about 15 minutes.
All right, cool. Definitely will do.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, later.
That was pretty cool.
No,
it was a good time.
That was cool.
So let me give you a couple impressions I had, and I kind of talked about them already. Right.
Well, I've tried to explain utility to you, but that he explained. Well, he's actually
here's my thing.
I look at a different utility though. He's going for a more fan base utility. I'm going for passive income. Passive income utility. But I like what he's doing. I think he can go in many directions, dude.
It seems to me like his business, his company is more catered towards being a fan rather than making money. It seemed to me that's
well, he's going to
like selling the cards and selling your fan pass, that's part of making money.
Yeah.
Get that?
Well, he gets a royalty.
Got to sell it at the same time.
He gets a royalty for selling on marketplaces and stuff.
Yeah.
Totally you should.
Yeah,
you should.
Absolutely.
But he's giving most of that to the fighter. He's giving a lot to the fighter.
Now, whether the fighter is
giving something to you, it's not like you're just
whether it's him
like
giving it to the fighter, card. Which I do like to believe because he does sound sincere when he says that, like he thinks that these fighters should have other revenue streams, or whether it's just that's how it works out in the contract. Like that's how these fighters are able to give him his name is because they get a certain percentage that they fight for.
Yeah,
I think that it's both of them. I think that when you're disputing a contract at that level, at a certain point, you got to say, I'm going to take what I can get. And if you're saying like 80, like you want 80% and I'll take 20%, I'm not really going to be like, I'll take 18, you can have 82% and you can have that too revenue stream. When it gets to a certain percent, like you're just going to take that 20%.
Yeah, exactly. But
he should. I'm not saying against him. Like he absolutely should. I just think that part of that giving back to the fighters' revenue stream is part of the contract negotiation.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely interested in this. I think
I am absolutely interested.
Well, you need to make a wallet, son.
Yeah, I have a wallet.
No, like you know what I mean.
Look, I've had this wallet since I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
I swear to God, this is the only wallet I've ever had.
Yeah, well, this wallet's for life too.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll always be there. I think. Man,
where can I make a wallet? Is it like only on a certain website? Do I have to make wallets for every other website?
You're gonna have to download OpenSea, and you need a MetaMask, and you need a Coinbase.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that at another time. You just lost me.
MetaMask is just a wallet that you can store NFTs on. That's like that they're secure, they're safe on that wallet.
Would I have to make a wallet for UFE?
No, that's the wallet.
It's basically just an online wallet.
Yeah, it's an online wallet
with
an address. Right. Yeah, It's easy.
All right. He didn't give us an answer of Adesanya Pereira. Thought that was funny. He thinks it's pretty close.
It is close. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm probably gonna stay away from it. And
I've said that for a while. Like I'm not going to put a lot of cards on
But
this.
you take
fight.
the dog. I mean, if you look at
Yeah,
it,
I'm going to put a parlay with
psychology-wise,
Pereira, but like only one.
no, yeah, you take the dog.
Take
You're
it
never
Esparza.
gonna. It's weird that we
Take
say
it Esparza.
It's weird that we say this. It's like we're never gonna get. I think it was one fight that Adesanya had. We're never gonna get Adesanya at these odds again, ever. And here we are. It's Adesanya's at -170, and here we are, not taking him. So
And he's had a fight against at 170 against a fighter who only has
he's beat him
3
twice,
UFC
though.
fights.
He's beat him twice.
I get that. He
In
also
a very similar style of a match.
Can I bring another point up?
With less minutes in between rounds, dude. It's like.
So when were these kickboxing fights? That's another thing I want to think about.
10 years ago, probably.
Right. All right. So let's just say it was 10 years ago because that sounds about right. It was probably more like 7 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So you have Israel Adesanya is 33 years old.
Yeah.
You have Alex Pereira, who is 35 years old. So it's actually I thought Pereira was older. But another thing to think of was like Adesanya was 26 when they fought, and Pereira was like 28, 29. I don't know if I don't think that's big of a difference really. I don't even know Pereira's kickboxing record. I know Izzy's is like 75-2, and I'm pretty sure Pereira's the 2, right? Is that right?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think so. Yo, it's like this fight was destined to happen, dude. Like, obviously, like they probably had some backdoor deal 5 years ago.
Israel Adesanya only had 1 kickboxing loss. And he lost to Simon Marcus. So, like, what did he lose to?
No, he's 80 and 70. He's lost 5, dude.
Why does it only say 1 loss?
Kickboxing record.
Does he have like 4 no contests?
Glory
is the name of the fucking kickboxing.
God damn! I can't stop fucking yawning. Oh.
So, his last kickboxing fight was at Glory of Heroes 7. Alex Pereira knocked him out in the 3rd round. So yeah, okay. There it is. He's 75-5, I guess.
I need more bets.
Kickboxing 75-5. Alex Pereira is 2 of the 5.
I need more bets without Parisian in it because every single bet has him in it. So I need to get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
So what do I do?
I think what was the ones I was looking at?
Like, do you do Magny, Marina, Pascal? Like 2?
I don't want Pasquale.
Pasquale.
How about Shani Young? Is fucking hold on. Is this fight just not on the bookie? Mark Madsen versus Grant Dawson. Is this fight just not on the bookie? Because this is a fight I wanted to bet on. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, do you know who Mark O. Madsen is?
No.
I'll pull up a picture of him. He's the guy that after every win in the UFC, he does the splits.
Oh yeah.
You know who that is?
Yeah.
He's actually really good. Like he's a really good fighter. This guy. Former Olympic wrestler. I don't think he ever got medals or anything. Denmark Olympic wrestler. He's really good, and he finishes people. And he's fighting Grant Dawson, and Grant Dawson's coming in on a short notice. And
that's why it's not listed.
And it's not that much of a short notice. Like I would still expect Madsen to be like -250, like nothing crazy.
Yeah, I'm fading Jake Hadley too, dude. I don't give a shit. Like,
yeah, you said you liked Candelario.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll definitely see.
That's fucking annoying. Why don't they have Mark Madsen? Yeah, they don't at all. That's stupid.
Shani Young's at +475.
Really, the number one up?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, it did. Ooh. What is her? For everybody looking for our actual bet analysis,
you don't
make
like
sure you go.
Pasquale anymore?
Make sure you go check out our Twitter newsletter. Twitter newsletter where we will be giving our betting advice and tips every single week, Friday morning. We're gonna go Friday morning for now. And yeah, I gave out my picks. I gave out a 2-paragraph summary of each fight, how I think it'll go, and then I gave out a prop bet I like and the money line bet I like, plus the over/under, which I talk about. So it's very in-depth about each fight. We're obviously going to keep doing this on the podcast for our regular listeners, but if you want to just read it and get betting advice real quick, go straight to the point. Go check out our Twitter newsletter and subscribe to that. It's right in the front, like it's a pinned tweet in our Twitter.
Yeah, I would love to get involved with the newsletter, dude. It's just time, and the weekend's my time to shine. So, during the week it's tough when you do spaces in a pod, but weekend is different for me. Weekend I can sit down, I can watch the fight nights, and I can literally write while the fight's happening.
So here's my thing.
I think that is what I can bring to the table, because I'm trying to think, like, how can I can't do all this stuff and keep track of the NFTs and crypto stuff. It's
I've told you,
tough for me.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I work. Saturday, I usually work double, so I can't do a shit. But anytime you want to come down here, dude, use my computer, right? I'll give you the lowdown of everything I do and how to go to it. It's super easy. It
would be much faster writing on my
phone. I don't know. Can you get review on your phone? Because review is how you do the newsletter. That app that you told me about.
I would probably send it to you through email or something.
I know, but if I'm not home, I can't post it.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
You can, if you still want to come over here, write it and then post it on my computer. You could do that.
Yeah. No. Well, you're just gonna have to show me, and then I'll figure it, and then I'll just do it.
Fun. Either way, after we're done, just download the review app so you can do it.
It is an app. There is an app.
It's an app on my computer, so I wouldn't see why it's not. But I think that's basically going to do it for us today. We had a nice little chat with Safe. I thought that was a pretty good interview. Thought it went well. I thought I was much more talkative than I thought I'd be. I thought that was going to be a 30-minute segment of you guys talking. I mean, shutting the fuck up.
Yeah, no, I think it makes more sense for you to talk, because I already kind of get the concept he's trying to do already. I think what he's doing is explaining what an NFT is for people. Well, it's kind of, we don't really have anything to talk about when I already know what it is. You know what I mean? I think what the problem with an NFT is that it, which I talked to you about this already, it can't be called an NFT. It can't be called an NFT. I think it has to be called like Reddit just did it as a digital collectible, which is close. That's a pretty good term. It's better than NFT. But I think digital asset is something that asset's very strong word. But I think digital asset is what it should be called. There has to be. Maybe it's just a different sector for NFTs. I don't know. Kind of like how there's different sectors in the stock market. I don't know. Now I'm getting deep into it, but yeah.
Right. All right. So if you want to know more about that, make sure you go check them out on Twitter at UFE NFT and at UFE WROLD. UFE Media CEO Saif Ibrahim joining us again. That was a really good interview.
You got to get that down.
I know I do. Make sure you go check out our Twitter at @complete_MMA, where we've been posting nonstop every day, 50, 100 tweets a day. We've been putting polls out there. We've been reaching out to new media platforms. We've been talking to MMA media, Davi, UFE, obviously. So we've been doing really well. Hit 250 followers on Twitter today. So we are officially at 100 followers over 3 weeks. So whatever we're doing, we should keep fucking doing.
I know, dude. Whatever we're doing, we should keep doing. I mean, it's taken us a little bit to kind of get the horse and the ball rolling, but the ball's been rolling for months now, and you can finally see the results paying off. That's it.
So that's going to do it for us today. Hope everybody enjoys some Thursday night football, and make sure you go check out Safe on his Twitter space Thursday night at 8 p.m., which is what we're going to go do. So thank everybody for tuning in, and make sure you check us out Friday and Saturday when we do spaces surrounding UFC Vegas 64, which will be happening this weekend starting 7 p.m. main card. And Sunday spaces every Sunday at 10 a.m. on our Twitter at @complete_MMA. Thank you, everybody. We're out.